Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'. All praises be to Allah. We praise Him. We ask for His help. We ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the evilness or weakness of ourselves and the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then no misguided for him. And whoever been misguided by Allah, nobody can be guided for him. I bear witness there's no God except Allah. Only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His prophet and His messenger and His servant. Oh Allah, give good prayer upon the Prophet Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, as you have if you give good prayer for Abraham and his family and the family of Abraham. And oh Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, as you have blessed Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most gracious, and also you are most being praised. Alhamdulillah, we start our class today, and I think that is actually not really late for me to say taqabbalallahu minna minkum. May Allah Ta'ala accept from me and from you all the good deeds that we've done in Ramadan, and may Allah Ta'ala bless us for the whole year to coming to us. And we will continue our topic, and our last topic is actually the 10 rules of soul purification. The last year that we took, the 9 rule, is actually we have to make sure to be aware from self impressed by our own self, and not to be deceived by our own self. Because actually when we said before, sometimes in goodness in a person, when he feel that he should be purified, and he start to think best about himself, but at that time maybe shaitan can come to him and deceive him, even though it's not enough. Because in doing good deeds, you must always say it's not enough. That's why when we took examples from the prayer that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu asked the Prophet to teach him, for him to pray in his salat, the Prophet taught him to say Allahumma the Prophet told him to say, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi dhulman kathira. Oh Allah, I oppress myself, I sin myself many sin. Wala yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant, and nobody can forgive sins except you. Faghfirli maghfiratan min indik. So bestow or give forgiveness to me from you, and warhamni, and have mercy upon me. Innaka anta ghafur rahim. Verily you are the most forgiving and the most merciful. So basically that is for Abu Bakr, when he is the one of the best person among human being after the Prophet, the messenger of the Prophet of Allah. But the prayer that he being taught is for him to say, oh Allah, forgive me a sin. Means that even though he among the best, among the companion, but the Prophet taught in his dua, in his prayer, to not being deceived by the goodness that he have done. So that's the thing, the topic that we took before. Then today, inshallah, we will enter into the 10 rules of self-purification. But this last topic, the 10 rule, I would like to separate it into three topic, because it's quite long. Not like our previous classes. The note is actually quite short, and we can fulfill the topic, all of it, in one class. But this last topic, the 10 rules, is actually quite long, and because the examples been given by the author, so I would like to make it into 3 segments, inshallah. But today we'll take the first segment of the 10 rules, the 10th rule. The 10th rule topic is actually Ma'rifatun Nafs, knowing the soul. Knowing the soul. Maybe some of us will say that, why do we go into this topic at last, not from the first? Why did we took the topic about Tawheed and Dua, and also the things that actually related to how to make the soul being purified, rather than knowing the soul first? Actually, it's like, if I can make an analogy, it's like you having a car, to use a car. No, you drive a car. You drive a car, most of us is actually driving the car without knowing what inside the car, the engine, how it works, the electrical segment, or the electronic, or the mechanical. You don't know about that, and you just want to use the car, how to turn right, turn left, to give signal, to turn, to brake, to brake your to make the car stop, to start the engine. So it's actually merely how to use it. But sometimes when you want to know more about your car, to make sure that you not wrongly use it, or you can make sure that the car is doesn't make any problem for you, you learn about it after a while. No, after you can use it, you use the car, you learn about it, about the mechanical, about the electrical or the electronic after that. So the same as for the soul, because the most important thing is actually about the purification. Whether you know the soul or not, from the start, it's actually not really that important. But now that after you have took the 9 rules about self-purification, starting from the Tawheed until not to be deceived by your own self, so now you have to know your soul, or you learn to know your soul, so that he said here about the benefits about knowing. Okay, knowing your soul. What is the soul? Because a human is actually consists of that 2 things. We have the physical body, and we have the spiritual inner self. When we die, our soul will leave our body, and the body will decay and return to the soil, to the earth. But our soul will not be actually cannot be deceived anymore. You only know a person have a soul when he was alive. When he was alive. But after the death, after decease, nobody can know what happened to the soul. Nobody can know. People tell the stories and about the near-death experience, but actually that is not really. You cannot assure that is really what happened, because all of us have their own memory about dreaming. Whatever we did, experience in this life can happen to become a dream for us, and we say that we are feeling the state of near death, even though maybe it's not the death and not really not really the death of our soul, the death of our body. So because of that, the human soul is actually so actually mysterious. Nobody until now can know about it. Even Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala said about it in Surah Al-Isra, when a Jew came to the Prophet SAW and asked about three things, about the companion of the cave, about the Qarnain, and about the soul. The Prophet SAW answered them by Allah Ta'ala command in Surah Al-Isra, verse number 85. Allah Ta'ala said in that ayat, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ, and they ask you, O Muhammad, about the spirit or about the soul. قُلِ الرُّوحِ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي, say, O Muhammad, that the spirit or the soul is actually from the among things that are being governed by my Lord, by Allah. وَمَا أُوتِيتُ مِنْ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا, and it's not given for you the knowledge except a very little about it. So nobody can know about the soul as really actually from A to Z about the soul, because when we say about the soul, merely personal experience. This person said that he feel he was going out from his body, going to somewhere, feeling something. The other person said something else. So everything is actually concerning personal experience. You cannot say that everybody can feel the same thing or will feel the same thing if that thing happened to him, except if we got that message or that info from the Prophet SAW or from Allah SWT himself, give us the explanation about the soul. Then that is the real thing that you, me, and everybody else will feel about it. So even one author, Alexis Carrel, he wrote a book titled "Human the Unknown." Human the Unknown. You can try to search the PDF of the book, because this guy was given the opportunity to write about the human, and after he wrote about the human, he come to the conclusion, like the topic of the book, human the unknown. He make a research about the human from the physical side, from the spiritual side, from the every aspect, emotion, behavior, and everything. And in the end, he said that he wrote the book that titled "Human the Unknown." After asking from the experts, from the biology expert, from the physical expert, from the chemically human, because we have chemical things in our body, we have mechanical, we have all the organ and all our body parts actually functioning by its own way. And we have, other than our body, is actually our feeling, our soul, our emotion, our psychology. So those things actually, when people try to understand, the physical part is actually, alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala have given us the opportunity that we can get the knowledge about it. But the spiritual side is actually, until now, is still mystery for every one of us. So now we want to learn a little about the soul, so that we can know that which part of the soul states that we are in it. Ma'rifatun nafs, knowing the soul. Wa mimma yatahattamu fi babi tazkiyah an-nafs ma'rifatu haqiqati hadhihi an-nafs. Ma'rifatu haqiqati hadhihi an-nafs wa ma'rifatu sifatiha liyashula li'tina'i biha wa ri'ayatiha wa mudawatiha min al-afati allati tatra'u 'alayha. From among most important things in this in the topic of self-purification is actually to know really, or to know in reality about the soul, and to know its characters, the character of the soul. Why we want to know? For it's actually it become easier to take care of the soul, to make sure to protect it, and to cure the soul from any illness that come to the soul. Because you want to know what is what the soul, so you can cure it and to take care of about the soul. What is not supposed to, for you to do, because when a person doesn't know that the state of his soul is actually changing from one state to another state, from one situation to other situation, because the soul is actually not in static state. It will change, but like being said in Allah in the Quran by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala about it. وقد وصف الله النفس في كتابه الكريم في ثلاث صفات مشهورة معلومة وهذه الصفات راجعة إلى أحوال النفوس وهي, and actually Allah Ta'ala make a character, have described the soul in his book, in his book, that actually the Karim, in his book, with three character or three attributes that is actually so famous and known, very well known. And this all attributes or all these states of all this character is actually returning to the state of the soul, state of the soul, the situation of the soul, not different soul. The same soul of human can have three character. Maybe in one day, maybe in 3 days, maybe in 1 month. It can have three characters, three state. That actually this state is actually what we, as the one who want to purify our soul, must actually be aware which part of these three is our soul right now, or tomorrow, or after that, or before this, so that we can actually reapproach and fix our soul to be at the state that it's supposed to be, not just letting it go by doing good deed, but you don't ever ask yourself or try to think about yourself what happened to you after, like we say, Ramadan. For 1 month you have fast and you pray, you do qiyam in the whole Ramadan. So what happened to your soul? You're supposed to have to know. You're supposed to know what happened to your soul. So the three states or the three character of the soul mentioned by Allah in the Quran, wahiyya, first, an-nafsul mutmainnatu, wahiyya allati itma'annat bil iman, wa dzakara Allah Ta'ala wa ibadat wa dzakara Allah wa itma'anna bil iman wa dzikrillah ta'ala wa ibadatihi wa husnil iqbali, kama qala ta'ala alladzina amanu wa tatma'innu qulubuhum bi dzikrillah ala bi dzikrillah tatma'innul qulub, wa qala ta'ala ya ayyuhan nafsul mutmainnah irji'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiyah fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Okay, the first character or the first state of the soul is actually an-nafsul mutmainnah, the assured soul, or the calm soul, because the word mutmainnah can be said as assured, means that everything correctly assured, the feeling that assured about everything, not the state of not knowing or not convinced. No, the state is actually the state of assured or the state of calmness. Okay. So Allah Ta'ala said the first soul is actually an-nafsul mutmainnah. The first state of the soul is the soul that is actually assured. Wahiyya allati and it's actually the soul that assured with iman, and remembering Allah Ta'ala, and devote or do good deeds, or worshipping Him, and also moving towards Allah in goodness. As Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Ar-Ra'd, verse number 28. Ar-Ra'd, verse number 28, Allah Ta'ala said, Alladhina amanu, those who actually already believe, and tatma'innu qulubum bidzikrillah, and their heart assured by remembering Allah Ta'ala. By remembering Allah, their heart become assured. Ala bidzikrillah, know that by remembering Allah, tatma'innul qulub, the heart will become assured. You want your heart to become calm and fixed towards iman, then remembering Allah Ta'ala is one of the way. So because the soul, the first soul that know the truth, know the what you want to do in this world, what the purpose of life. So this soul is actually a assured soul, the soul that is actually know what to do and know how to gain the pleasure of Allah. Want to gain the pleasure of Allah, want to gain the love of Allah. It know what it knows what to do. It knows what to do, and that not in the state of unknowing. That is what we want to say about the mutmainnah, means that is assured and it come to the truth, And Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Fajr, verse number 27 to 29, 27, 29, Allah Ta'ala said about the state or the soul that is actually assured. Allah Ta'ala when is going out from the body, it will be called to the soul by good names. Allah Ta'ala said, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainnah, oh the assured soul, the soul that actually already come in the state of assured. Irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah, go back to your Lord, to your owner, to your creator, radiyatan mardiyah, in state of being Allah Ta'ala pleasure with you, okay? And you will be pleasured by Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. Means that Allah Ta'ala actually accepting you, being accepted by Allah Ta'ala, and actually and actually you will also accept what Allah Ta'ala will give you. Fadkhuli fi ibadi, go inside, go into among my servant. Wadkhuli jannati, and go into my garden, my paradise. Means that Allah Ta'ala in the sense of when the soul being taken out from the body, that is the state being said by Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala about the soul. So the first soul that we say is assured. We know what is truth. We know that we are going back towards to our Lord, remembering our death, and knowing that we must seek for the pleasure of Allah, not the pleasure of a human being or others. We just actually want Allah Ta'ala to be pleased, with us. Not pleasure, the pleased with us. Allah Ta'ala pleased with our deeds, our soul. Then we know what to do, and we are doing it. We are doing it as Allah Ta'ala told us to do. Because like we said, in doing the soul purification, we must have the ongoing deeds or amal, so that Allah Ta'ala will make our soul be purified. Because the soul is not purified just because of you drinking something, or you sleep where you are sleeping, or you doing something actually exercise. No, but the calmness or the assuredness of the soul will come from the being pleased by Allah, is pleased by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So the first soul is the soul that knowing everything by the revelation from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala and from the teaching of the Prophet. So going out in this world, they know what to do. They know that Allah Taala doesn't like them to do. They know that they are a creature created by Allah, and every day we are actually taking from the blessing of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So every day the soul know its purpose and know what to do in this world, and that is the assured soul or nafsul mutmainnah. Nafsul mutmainnah. Secondly, okay, second state or second character of the soul is said here, an-nafsul lawwama, an-nufusu al-lawwama, an-nufusul lawwamatu, wa hiya allati talumu sahibaha ala fi'lihi al-khata'a, ala fi'lihi al-khata'a, wa taqsirihi fil wajibi aw tafritihi fi ta'ati, kama qala ta'ala fi suratil qiyamah, al-ayah al-thaniyah, wala uqsimu bin nafsil lawwamah, and wala uqsimu bin nafsil lawwamah. So second soul or second character of the soul is actually an-nufusul lawwamah, an-nufusu al-lawwamah or nafsul lawwamah, the soul that reproach itself, meaning that the reproaching soul, wahia, and it is the soul that will torment or will reproach the owner upon its wrongdoing. If the body or the owner of the soul doing something it's not right, so the soul will keep on reproaching. Why did you do this? Why you do that? It's not good for you. It's not supposed thing for you to do. So the soul will talk to the owner and telling him that is wrong. Or when the soul, the owner of the soul is actually not completing in wajib, anything that Allah Ta'ala command, obligation upon the human, when the owner of the body, the owner of the soul doesn't do the right thing, then the soul will talk. It's actually not enough. You actually doesn't do rightly like told by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala or the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, or any obedient by the owner, but it's actually not really achieving to the goal. Also, the soul will say something to it, to the owner, as Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Qiyamah verse number 2, wala uqsimu bin nafsil lawwamah, and verily I swear by the reproaching soul, by the soul that is a reproach its owner continuously. So the second state that is really lower than the first state. The first state is actually the assured soul, means that the soul that know and do whatever Allah Ta'ala please, Allah Ta'ala want him to do, is actually know the right and the wrong, and also doing the right and calm and actually assured with everything that Allah Ta'ala have given as guidance for him. The second one is actually the soul talking to the owner, will talk to the owner and telling it's not right. Sometimes happen to us, we do something that is not right, and after that we feel regret. We regret because our soul is talking to us, it's not good for you to do this, it's not good for you to do that, you're not supposed to say something like that. So when the inner self, your soul talking to you like that, is actually is good, because you are not being deceived by your own goodness. Like we said in the ninth rule, when a person doesn't ever think that he is in wrong place or not doing the good, the right one, he will always make an improvement. But if the owner is feeling good all the time, and the soul just keep quiet, doesn't talk to the owner, doesn't say to the owner that you are actually wrong, you are not supposed to do this or to do that, so the owner will actually being deceived by its own deeds. That is the thing that we actually we have to beware about it. So when the soul is the state of always reproach means that advising or actually regretting about what being done. So it's actually it's still good for a person to have that kind of soul, but this type of soul is actually also can be depressing for a person, because you are not supposed just to regret. Because when you do wrongdoing, you feel regret is good, but you have to quickly go towards the truth, the right path. Means you have to ask from Allah Ta'ala forgiveness. If the thing that you done is upon other human being, then you have to ask from the person forgiveness, not from Allah Ta'ala only, but also from the person that you have wrongly done to. Not just say that I already asked Allah Ta'ala forgiveness, I'll be safe. That is the problem here, because a soul, when feeling regret, you have the regret, you have to do the right thing, because whatever regret, because I did have a conversation with some people that have the regret but doesn't have the amal that's supposed to be done. Because you regret about your wrongdoing is good, but you have to quickly ask from Allah forgiveness and do other good deeds to make sure that the bad deeds will go away. Like Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Hud, verse number 114. Allah Ta'ala said, Aqimis salata al-duluki syamsi ila ghasaqil layl. Aqimis salata tarifan nahar wa zulafan minal layl. Do prayer in between the two sides of the day, from the morning until the evening. Within that time, do prayer, do salat, in that thing, wa zulafan minal layl, and also in the middle of the night. And then Allah Ta'ala said, Innal hasanat yudhibna sayyi'at. Verily, the goodness will make go away, or will cleanse, will actually clean as-sayyi'at, any badness. Goodness will make go away the badness. So when you feel regret, the regret itself is not an ibadah. Not considered as the worship towards Allah, because we want to talk about this regretful soul, or the soul that reproach its honor. But the feeling is good, like I said, but you have to have the work, because in Islam, the two sides of things actually have to be done at the same time, having the inner feeling and the physical doing. Inner feeling in yourself and physical doing. Like, okay, if I say, if you feel hungry, then you have to eat. You don't say, oh, I'm hungry. You are hungry? I'm hungry. The feeling is there, but the doing, the physical doing, you have to do it. You have to go to eat. If you feel thirsty, you feel so thirsty, so you have to do the physical doing, that is drink water. Then you will replenish yourself from the thirst. And if you feel you are actually not knowledgeable, you doesn't know many things, then you go and learn. So if you feel you have seen a lot, the things that you have to do is actually you have to ask forgiveness from Allah Ta'ala. Repent to Allah Ta'ala. Not just, oh, I'm doing bad thing, oh, I'm not good. Just that feeling without physical doing is not enough. It's not enough. Because it is good to have nafsul lawama. That's why the nafsul lawama is lower than the assured nafsul mutmainnah. The assured soul is higher. That is the goal that you want to accomplish. Means that you have to accomplish your soul to become or to be in the state of mutmainnah, assured, realizing, knowing that what you have to do in this world to make Allah Ta'ala pleased with you, to make Allah Ta'ala rida towards you, to make He pleased towards you. You have to do the things that you know the things, and you do all the things that He want you to do, and you feel assured with that. The second one is actually the soul that is actually reproaching the owner, regret, always regret. It's good to have it from time to time, but not to become the main cause of our soul. You see that you feel that your soul is actually good because every time you do bad thing you cry. Then tomorrow you will do it again. You didn't ever ask from Allah Ta'ala forgiveness. You don't repent to Allah Ta'ala, and you don't stop if the wrongdoing towards human. You don't stop from actually doing bad thing to human, talking bad to them or hitting them. But still at night you cry. You cry at night, but tomorrow you'll do it again. That is not what Allah Ta'ala want you to have. Because the thing that the soul that reproaching is good from one side, but you have to know that just that state is actually not enough. Because you have to be at the assured soul, nafsul mutmainnah, not just the soul that actually condemning the owner. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? You're not good. That feeling is depressing. Some people actually just having that type of feeling and doesn't go towards the things that Allah Ta'ala want them to do, doesn't know how to get away from that feeling. They actually can be suicidal. That feeling, but you are not good, you are bad, you are not being pleased by Allah. Allah Ta'ala doesn't love you. That feeling, if it continuously happen to yourself, you will become depressed, and actually we become suicidal. We actually in Selangor right now, in Kuala Lumpur also, during this MCO, 2 suicide happened. One yesterday is actually at Pond Utama. Before, but a woman, and before that, KLCC. Because that's the thing. To have your soul condemning your own self, actually good for certain period, not always. Because always condemning yourself doesn't say, because you become negative in your spirit, in your psychology, and you become actually you will endanger yourself, because you are not feeling being welcomed by Allah. You become, because the Prophet SAW, he himself said to us, la yamutanna ahadukum illa wa huwa muhsinun billah, zannu billah. Don't ever a soul among you die except in the state of good feeling towards Allah. You have to have good feeling towards Allah. You have to have the positive feeling towards Allah, that Allah Ta'ala will forgive you, Allah Ta'ala will help you, Allah Ta'ala will always be with you. You have to have that feeling. The negative feeling, good to recorrect yourself, but the correctness of the self is not just by the negative feeling. So that's why the nafsul lawamah is actually a state is not the state that you must be in it always. You must have positiveness towards whatever Allah Ta'ala give you. Okay. So that's the second state, or second character of the soul. The third one, an-nafsul ammaratu bisu. Wa hiya allati tahuthu sahibaha ala fi'l al-muharramat wa irtikab al-athami wa taquduhu ila mawati al-munkarati wa mawadi ar-radhilati wa tadfa'uhu ila fi'l al-qaba'ihi wa ar-radha'ili kama jaa fi surati Yusuf alaihi salam. in verse number fi ayati 53 wa ma ubarri'u nafsi inna nafsa la ammaratun bisu' illa ma rahima rabbi. Okay, the third soul is actually, the third character of the soul is actually an-nafsul ammaratu bisu', the soul that is actually persistently enjoyed by the badness. Means that the soul is being encouraged by badness, and it is the soul that always encouraging the owner of the soul to do what is forbidden by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also to do anything that is sinful. And the soul will take the owner to the places of munkarat. Means that the place that the not good being done, the soul will take the owner to it. And also wawadi radilati, and the state of depravity, the state of low, the state of become you become the most sinful. And also it will channel the soul, the owner, to do things that is actually not good, and also things that is actually deprivating. Means that the lowest thing that the human can be is, as being said in the surah Yusuf, verse number 53, is actually the talking from the wife of the minister when Yusuf alayhi salam was in Egypt, staying there after he being thrown into the well, into the dry well by his brothers. He being picked up by a caravan, and they took him to Egypt, and he being sold. Then the one who bought him is actually a minister in Egypt. The thing happened that when Yusuf actually growing, and he become a handsome man, a very handsome man. Even actually the beauty of Yusuf or Joseph alayhi salam is actually half of the beauty of human, half. When I say half, because the Prophet ﷺ said about when he saw Joseph in the night of Isra and Mi'raj, or in other night that he saw him, the Prophet said that he has been given, the Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, been given half of beauty. The full beauty is actually Adam alayhi salam. If ever a person want to question himself, asking about a beauty, when the Prophet said that Joseph being given half beauty, so the most beautiful creature among human is actually Adam alayhi salam, and that's why whoever enter the paradise will be in the state of Adam alayhi salam. The tallness like Adam, the skin like Adam. Nobody will be short. Nobody will be not good looking like in this world. In this world, that thing is actually Allah Ta'ala give us to make a trial for us, whether we are actually accepting his blessing and his gift to us, or we want to say that we are actually satisfied, even though we get many things that others doesn't have, but still we actually try to look at things that actually not actually important for us. For us to live, the things Allah Ta'ala already prepared for us, but still human always will say that I want this and that, or my eye is not like this, my nose is like that, my skin is not like him, my hair is not like them, like that person. So the is for the trial. But when we enter heaven and enter the paradise, like being said by the Prophet SAW, in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, fakul maydukhul jannah ala surati Adam. Whoever enter the paradise will be in the state of Adam, in the look of Adam alayhi salam. So Adam being because Adam is so beautiful, then whoever enter the paradise will be in his state, not Joseph alayhi salam. But Joseph alayhi salam or Yusuf alayhi salam being given half of beauty. So when Yusuf alayhi salam actually growing up in the house of the minister, the wife of the minister try to actually do bad thing to Yusuf alayhi salam and try to seduce him, but he doesn't want to follow what being command to him, and he being thrown into the jail, not being given not being let out for many years. So until the king of Egypt know about the story and call the woman of the city about the story of Yusuf, everybody telling that Yusuf alayhi salam is actually clean, doesn't do anything bad to the wife of the minister. And at last this ayah, the 53, verse number 53 in Surah Yusuf, is what the woman, the wife, said to the king when she admit that she is actually telling lies about Yusuf and making Yusuf alayhi salam being thrown into the jail. So end of the statement, she said, "Wama ubarri'u nafsi." When I telling you, yes, Joseph is right, I'm wrong, we seduce him, and I'm telling you this, "Wama ubarri'u nafsi." I don't want to say that my soul is good. No, not I didn't admit because to show that I am already good. No, but and she said, "Inna nafsa la ammaratun bisu." Verily, the soul is actually persistently enjoyed with badness. Illa ma rahima rabbi, except that whatever have mercy, my Lord have mercy upon it. Then that is only the soul that will not being actually encouraged towards badness. So the soul that asking, like we said before in Ramadan, when Allah Ta'ala tied our qarin, the jinn that supposed to actually encourage us to do bad things, in Ramadan being tied off, so you actually being left with your own soul. So many people achieve a state of doing good deeds and feeling that Allah Ta'ala is a surveillance of Allah upon him all day long for 30 days. For 30 days, we feeling that feeling because we don't eat, we don't drink, we don't do anything, we don't look at bad things, we don't talk about bad things because we don't want to damage our fast. All of it because of Allah Ta'ala is looking towards us. So when after we went out from Ramadan, actually we can feel that our soul is not really the same state inside Ramadan. When something entertainment in television is showing on singing, dancing, men and women, doesn't cover their aura, we actually can just sit there and doesn't care to look away, like inside Ramadan. At that state, when we are actually enjoying things that is not supposed to be enjoyed, because that is forbidden from Allah Ta'ala to us. Allah Ta'ala forbid us from doing it, and we don't have that the soul that reproaching us. Oh no, don't do this. Maybe in Ramadan you have that voice, inner voice, but after Ramadan, sometimes the body is doing things that being actually forbid by Allah, but not feeling anything. So the soul at that state is actually an-nafsul ammaratun bisu. Is the soul that is actually persisting in enjoyment towards badness. So may Allah Ta'ala protect us from this state. But like we say here, all these three state, the state of the soul is actually the soul that is actually assured soul. soul that is calm and assured towards its God, towards its God, and towards others, towards the teaching of Islam. That's the first soul. The second one is the soul that reproaching its owner all the time, but just the feeling, not really the doing. The third one is actually the soul that actually attracting or actually encouraging the owner to do bad things. These three state of soul is actually is not different soul, is the same soul, but actually but the problem is the state is always changing. He said here, فهذه الأوصاف الثلاثة للنفس هي في الحقيقة أحوال متعلقة بالنفس. These three state or these three attribute or these three character for the soul in reality is actually is a state that concerning with the soul, mean that your soul can be A or B or C. You are not just the A, you are not just the B or the C, but your soul can be in that three state, in three condition or three character at one time. ولذلك فإن هذه الأحوال تتقلب وتتغير بحسب الواردات التي ترد على النفس. Because of that, he say here, this condition or these states will always change and actually will turn over and changing according to whatever things that come towards the soul. Because if you are actually like Ramadan, in Ramadan you are staying with good people, people that actually fear Allah, so your soul will follow to that state. And after Ramadan, when we are going out, the state like right now, so the feeling will change. Your soul will change from the mutmainnah to become lawamah, or to become ammaratun bisu. Can be in the third state, whatever surrounding you, because the environment that you said from among the things that can help a person in self-purification is actually the state or the condition around who you be friend with, with whom you attach yourself, companion towards whom. That can be things that will make your soul sway towards goodness or badness. So that's why we said here, whatever come to the soul can change the state of the soul. فقد تجتمع هذه الصفات عند الإنسان في يوم واحد بحسب حال نفسه. And actually it may happen combine. It may combine these three character. These three character can happen for a human in one day, according to the condition of the state, the soul, condition of the soul. You can have that three things inside in a day. You can have three things in a day. So now, like we say here, the things that you have to know, that your soul is actually not just white or black. What we read until now, it's not white or black. It can be changed. It can be better. That's why Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran about those who actually try to cleanse or purify their soul. Like in the Surah Al-A'la, sayadzakaru in the Surah Al-A'la, Surah Al-A'la, Allah Ta'ala said, وَيَتَجَنَّبُهَا. Okay. In Surah Al-A'la, verse number number 14. Number 14. Allah Ta'ala said from verse number 9. From number 9, Allah Ta'ala said in that ayah, in Surah Al-A'la, verse number 9. Fadhakkir in nafa'atil dhikra. Oh Muhammad, give a reminder if the reminder is actually can benefit the person. Sayadzakkaru man yakhsha. Verily will be remind will be fear. Sayadzakkaru will be reminded whoever is actually have the feeling, have the fear towards Allah. Wa yatajannabu al-ashqa. But your remembrance, your reminder will be avoided by whoever is actually in this world will be the wretch, will avoid it. Ashqa alladhi yasla an-nar al-kubra, that they who will enter the hellfire, the big hellfire. Thumma la yamutu fiha wa la yahya, and they will not be alive in that hell, and will not be dead in that hell, and do not be alive, because every time being burned to the state of death, they will become alive again. Allah Ta'ala will be alive, because nobody in the hereafter will die again. Even those who enter the hell, actually they dream about, or they wishing to be dead, but they will not die ever, because they there in hereafter, every goodness, or actually every enjoyment will be forever, and every punishment will be forever. So thumma la yamutu fiha wa la yahya, then Allah said qad aflaha man tazakka. Verily actually the soul, whoever purified himself will be succeed, certainly succeed. Man qad aflaha man tazakka, whoever been purifying himself. So because of that, when we learn about this soul, like I said, it's not just white or black. Your soul is not white or black like that, because the state can be changeable. That's why a person that want to purify themselves can do things that will purify the soul. But whoever neglect about that and doesn't think about purifying the soul, then Allah Ta'ala will let the heart or the soul become tarnished and not ever being cleansed. So the state will be changeable. Don't ever think that, oh, I'm born like this, I cannot change myself, because Allah Ta'ala doesn't ever say in the Quran like that. You can be a better person, you can be a good person by changing the state, by say the 9 rules that we already mentioned before. All of it we have to accomplish all the 9 things, then only you can be in the good state of the soul. The soul will be purified. But if you don't want to purify the soul, you don't do the feeling is there, but the physical doing is not there, then it's just wishful thinking that will not be any benefit to yourself, because Allah Ta'ala will always see to the human by 2 things, like being said by the Prophet SAW. Inna Allah la yanzuru ila suwarikum wa ajsamikum. Verily Allah Ta'ala will not look at your figure and your body. Walakin yanzuru ila ma fi qulubikum wa amalikum. But Allah Ta'ala will always look towards whatever inside your heart, and also whatever you're doing. The 2 things, your heart and your doing, always must have the 2 things, not only the feeling, right feeling, but not the physical doing, because the physical doing is a proof about whatever inside the heart. Because a person that only have the feeling but doesn't have the doing is actually not cannot be said that he's the very calm soul, like a person when we see that the manners, some of the people, the manners is so good, talk very soft, but at the same time worshipping grave, go to the grave, oh wali, oh the saint of Allah, please help me. This type of person doesn't ever can be a purified soul, because the first state, the first rules that we talk about, the first thing that will purify you is actually tawheed, means that the oneness of Allah Ta'ala. You only worship only Allah Ta'ala, not other than Allah Ta'ala. That's the thing. A person can be good manners, but the soul is actually not purified, because when the soul is actually tarnished with disobedient towards Allah, or making associate towards Allah, it's not a purified soul. Even though from the people, the talking is so soft. Oh, my son, oh my brother, don't do this, don't do that. From the talking, you can see, but from the sense of Allah, he is not purified. He's not purified, because what you say, what we said is actually the inner feeling must have the physical doing. Inner feeling must have physical doing. You cannot just have the soul without the doing, because the soul must make you or must be combined with the physical doing what Allah Ta'ala told you to do, and avoiding what Allah Ta'ala forbid you from doing it. Then that is only the state of the soul. So inshallah we will continue next week concerning about the topic, because I will separate our topic to three part. This part, the explanation about the soul. The second part is actually the you say parable being given by the first one is Imam Al-Ajuri about the soul, when he comparing the soul with a man, you say you can say the sun, not the sun, a horse, the big horse, the small horse. You say son, daughter, no. What's the word? Child. Not pony. Pony is this, the small horse. No, we say okay. In cow, if you have a cow, the son of the cow will be called no, kid for the goat. Kid for the goat. Mia. Is it Mia? In English.
Foal. Anak kuda foal.
Other than that. Okay, child. You can do child. Cook. Foal. Other than that, caught also. Anyway, you could baby. Baby of the horse. Okay, baby. Child. Because normally when we say child, we don't ever see about the animals. For the goat, a kid. For the cow, calf. Is it? Calf. For the horse, actually foal. Okay. So the Imam Ajuri giving the soul parable about actually purifying the soul as you do to train a foal. And Imam the last one will be the parable being given by Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah by making parable about the soul as a big mountain that you are actually climbing it. So inshallah we will go into that examples or that parable in our next class inshallah. So after knowing that our soul is actually can be in three state. Either the best is actually mutmain, anatul mutmainnah, and second one is actually al-lawamah, the soul that actually approaching the owner, saying is that no, not good, you have to be better, and the soul that is actually encouraging the owner to do bad things, the persistent enjoyment in badness. So that's three state. We actually have that three state all the time. We can be in A or B or C by looking out to our surrounding. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So inshallah we will try to look at question if there are any question. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamualaikum. Okay. This question here. Ustaz, if I want to read Al-Baqarah to protect my house, can I read few pages for Fajar, from Fajar to Maghrib? Should I read the whole surah in one sitting? The day considered start from Maghrib also. Okay. First thing first, the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, La taj'alu buyutakum maqabira fa inna syaitana la yadkhulu baitan tuqra'u fihi suratul Baqarah. The Prophet said, don't make your house like a graveyard. Like a graveyard, because shaitan will not enter the house being recited Al-Baqarah in it. Means that if you recite Baqarah, and from the other hadith, the Prophet said about the how long can Al-Baqarah protect yourself from, your house from the shaitan. The Prophet said, whoever recite Al-Baqarah in the morning, in a morning, then his house will be protected from shaitan until 3 nights. If you recite the Surah Al-Baqarah in night, then his house will be protected from shaitan until 3 morning. Means that 3 days only. This is one thing that actually quite interesting, because we did hear some people claim that they can protect or fence a house from shaitan by using nail or salt or any type of water to protect the house from the shaitan, from the Satan. The problem is, those people, when they do that type of claim, they claim that as long as the salt is not dissolved away, as long as the nail is fixed on that angle, not being removed, then shaitan will not ever enter their house. This is actually a bold claim and exaggerating claim, because the Prophet solution is only for 3 days. The Prophet only 3 days, means that you recite today, then your house will be protected from now today until second night, third night, first night, second night, third night. So your three days will be protected, after 3 nights will be protected from the shaitan. Not 30 years, because the person when given a nail at the angle of the house, they claim that as long as the nail is not being removed, the house will be protected from shaitan. It's actually exaggerating claim, because the Prophet give you solution by recitation of Al-Baqarah. Recitation of Al-Baqarah is actually for 3 days only. Okay, is it in one sitting or you can separate it? For the start, you can actually make the recitation being spread away for 3 days, or you can from the start. But as time goes by and you are actually reciting the surah continuously, it will become easier for you to recite it in one sitting. Then what the Prophet ﷺ really said is actually by one sitting. You recite it today, and then 3 nights your house will be until 3 nights your house will be protected from shaitan. And the shaitan that meant here is actually not like being actually imagined by certain people. Certain people actually just say that want they want to protect their house from shaitan because they feel that the shaitan is present there. present there, feeling that eerie, feeling that something is lurking inside the darkness. This is not what the Prophet want you to have the recitation Al-Baqarah because of it. The things that you want to protect yourself from shaitan is because when shaitan being with you inside the house, shaitan will always have the power, or you say the opportunity, capability to deceive you and make you doing bad things, looking at television, ignoring the adhan, when shaitan is with you all the time inside the house. But if you recite Al-Baqarah, the angel will come down, so no shaitan will come to your house. So you have to know that the protection is actually really from the badness of shaitan, and shaitan or the evil, it's we say KPI, key performance index that they have, is actually for you to enter the hell with them, not just for you to I'm afraid and run away. No, it's not that things that being teach in Islam. Islam doesn't teach you about being afraid toward the jinn or the shaitan on that sense. You have to beware about your sense of akidah, your amal. That is the thing that you have to prevent shaitan from being with you. Not like certain people thinking that I don't want shaitan to enter my house, I recite Al-Baqarah, but at the same time the television is showing things that is actually not appropriate, things that is actually not to be shown, is shown there, or things that actually are not being appropriate to be hanged, pictures of artists or anybody being hanged inside the house, because these things actually things that will attract the shaitan, and be avoided by the angels. We want the angels to come with us and recite with us the Quran, to pray for us, all the time. But if you are doing bad things inside the house, although you already fence your house from shaitan, but you are doing whatever shaitan told you to do, so this is really not really benefiting for you. What shaitan did you mean by you protecting your house from shaitan? Because you protect your house from shaitan, but you are doing what shaitan want you to do. That actually not benefit you anything. Okay. So like being said, for the start, yes, you can separate the recitation of Al-Baqarah that you're supposed to have in 2.5 hours. If you recite slowly, 2.5 hours, inshallah you will finish. 2.5 hours actually means that you take your time to sit and recite the Quran. That is the value of recitation of the surah. You can always sit for a movie 2 hours, 3 hours at one sitting, but you cannot sit for Al-Quran for 2 hours. Actually, it's actually so set for you if you have that type of things. Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Sheikh is not, I'm not Sheikh. Sheikh is actually old people. Older people you can call Sheikh. Me, I call Ustaz only. If we talk in heart, cause not satisfied with someone, will it contribute to the evil soul? Yes, actually, to have a bad feeling about people, or like being said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse number, wait, I didn't remember the verse. Allah said, kathirun minadh-dhann. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse number 12. Verse number 12. Allah Ta'ala said, A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu ijtanibu kathiran minadh-dhann inna ba'dadh-dhanni ithmun. O you who have believed, avoid much negative assumption. Avoid much or many of the negative assumption, means that you look at somebody, you say maybe this guy is like this guy is like that. Avoid. Indeed, inna ba'da zanni ismun, because indeed some of the assumption is actually a sin. Means that when you say that you have the feeling this bad, and you trust your feeling. This one thing you don't ever teach yourself to always believe your feeling, because the Prophet SAW told us not to believe our feeling, because sometimes a person want to get out of the house, want to go somewhere, and the feeling said, if I go now, I think I will have an accident. So if I don't go out, I don't have the accident. This is actually a type of syirik. The Prophet said is type of syirik, because you make your feeling become the judge, or the reason for you to have a bad thing or a good things, because Allah Ta'ala already destined for you, already written for you things that will happen to you. So you actually have to be in the state of sabar, sabar means that patient towards what Allah Ta'ala give you as a trial, and you must always be grateful to what Allah Ta'ala give you from a goodness, also as a trial, So that's why the feeling that you have towards something you don't want to do, the Prophet said it is actually a syirik. Same goes to when you look at somebody, you don't like him, it's actually okay, but to have bad assumption, maybe this person is a bad person, maybe at night he do something like this, maybe today in the morning he do something like that, that is actually not good for you to have, because like being said in the Surah Al-Hujurat verse number 12, you have to avoid many of the negative assumption, because many of the assumption is actually a sin. So do not ever entertain your feeling. Say that it's actually not like that. Allah Ta'ala knows best. Allah Ta'ala is most knowing. I don't know, Allah Ta'ala knows. Okay? Assalamualaikum Ustaz. As men of our house, we take good care of our nisa on every angle. If the nisa feel suffocate or feel like a prisoner, are this issue with their nafs or the lack of understanding of deen? It's actually both. I don't know, three things. Okay. It can be when the woman feeling something like that, feeling that like being avoided, like some people when the husband said, I provide for you everything, you don't have to go to work. So the woman sometimes feel that like we said, suffocate, feel that actually her life is not complete, and actually some of things that we can say happen in our life today, certain groups moving around the world telling to the woman in the house, you actually not supposed to be in this place, you are supposed to be at work, supposed to go to the mall, supposed to climb the mountain, you are not supposed to just stay at the house taking care of the children. Sometimes the voices will come either from the outside or inside. Actually it's actually from the side is yes, it can come from the issue of the nafs and the understanding of the deen. Actually when the woman understand her position inside the society, inside the deen, they should not feel like that, because they are doing things that Allah Ta'ala told them to do. Because the mutmainnah, the soul is actually that assured with their position, will not feel ungrateful, will not feel dissatisfied with everything. But the third thing that the husband must understand also, maybe the what you say, the things that the husband did towards the wife, maybe the husband what you say, feel that it enough. I would already give her money, give her credit card, give her everything, she can buy anything, but maybe that is not the thing that she need. For this, the husband must always ask for guidance or advice from an elder person, about things that the woman really want to do, want to feel, because the husband can help. If the wife doesn't have good understanding of the religion, the husband can be the guider for that. If the wife essentially cannot feel satisfied with what being given, the husband also can satisfy them by the way and the experience from elders. So you have to ask, because not sometimes you think that you already give everything to them, but maybe the things that they really need is not what you give, what you didn't give them. Maybe that is the thing that they are feeling right now. So we don't ever say that just the wife doesn't have the good understanding of religion. No, because the Prophet did say about women in the Hajjatul Wada. The Prophet SAW said, "Istausu bin nisa'i khaira." Be advisable to the woman in a good manner. فَإِنَّا خُلِقْنَا مِنَ الضِّلْعِ, because the woman is being created from the ribs, and the ribs actually the most curve among the ribs is actually by the head. If you try to make the ribs to become straight by force, you will break it. But if you leave it like that, you don't ever try to straighten it, it will be bend away all the time. So the Prophet said, "Istausu bin nisa'i khaira." Make advice to the woman in a good manner. In a good manner. 3 times the Prophet SAW said about that. Means that the husband must know that the feeling about the wife. Your wife is really not a robot. You can enter the program, and they will become like you want them to do, because always the woman will be a trial for a man. So a husband must always doesn't just look at the wife doesn't have a good understanding about religion. Even the wife of the Prophet SAW, when the Prophet was alive, did things that actually make the Prophet SAW actually not pleased about it. Such as they came to the Prophet ﷺ, the wives asking their rights, because the Prophet ﷺ been given many gifts, but all the gifts being given away, doesn't ever enter their house. If we been given like watermelon, the watermelon will be in our kitchen, and our wife will see that gift will be given like in Ramadan. Many of people will give the teacher tamar, ajwa. Every type of tamar is inside the house. So the gift will enter the house. But the Prophet SAW, his actually character, all the gift being given to him always go out, from the house. So one day the wives of the Prophet ﷺ came together and said to the Prophet, "Where is our right?" So the Prophet really mad about that, and he said he doesn't say anything, and he swear in the name of Allah to not touch or sleep with his wife for 1 month. For 1 month, we say in fiqh is called ila. And the person said, don't want to sleep with my wife for 1 month. That's called ila. So the Prophet did something like that. He camped outside of his house and actually making people see that he actually avoiding his wife. Even some people said that the Prophet already divorced his wife, but actually the Prophet didn't divorce them. So if the Prophet ﷺ wife happened to have something like that, or sometimes jealousy among the wives, within one after another, one towards another, it can happen to our wives. So you cannot say that the understanding is not there, because the nature of woman is something like that. You have to make sure that you are not actually commanding them to be like the wife of the Prophet, because the wife of the Prophet also doing something that actually a typical woman will do. Because it happened, the Prophet ﷺ said being married a virgin other than Aisha anha, already do the akad. All the things settled down, but some of the wife of the Prophet SAW came to the woman, to the girl, and said, if the Prophet come to you, then say, A'udhu billahi minki, I seek refuge from Allah, with Allah from you, and the Prophet will be loving to you more than anybody else. So the girl, when the Prophet came to her, entered the room, the girl uttered the word, A'udhu billahi minki, I seek refuge with Allah from you. Then the Prophet ﷺ said to the girl, go back to with your family, because you already seek refuge with Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So I cannot do anything to you. So the girl being sent back to the family, it's because the advice from some of the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. So things like that can happen. So a man should not ever thinks that the character of the wife changing a lot in his life, saying that the wife have problem about her soul, or doesn't have any good understanding of religion. It can be one of the reason. It can be one of the reason, but not always, because the wife of the Prophet also have that kind of character of a woman. You cannot say that a woman will not feel like that. No, they will feel like that. Even though it's enough, you create that something is missing there. So you have to learn as a husband. You have to learn how to make sure that the feeling of the woman being satisfied, but not the way they want. The way you ask from the experienced person. Go and ask from a person that actually elder than you. Don't ever overestimate your knowledge. Don't ever actually deceived by your own info, but always ask for advice. Ask for advice from the elders. Okay. Assalamualaikum. In sujud, when we make dua, it is in our heart or verbalized out. How loud should we make the dua if verbalized? Jazakallah khair. Actually, when we say about making prayer or making dua or supplication towards Allah, it is always verbalized. There's no such thing as saying the dua inside heart. Allah knows your heart, knows about what in your heart, but Allah Ta'ala is hearing your dua. Inna Allah sami'ud dua. Because Allah Ta'ala His attributes, when we learn about the attributes of Allah Ta'ala, when Allah Ta'ala said He is Sami' Alim, He is all hearing, all knowing, knowing whatever inside your heart. But He want you to utter the words, because just whatever inside your heart you say, I don't want to ask, then Allah actually go against what Allah Ta'ala said to you, like in Surah Ghafir, verse number 60. Allah Ta'ala said, wa qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum, and your Lord said, ud'uni, call to me, ask me, astajib lakum, I will fulfill, I will answer to you. Innal ladzina istakbiruna an ibadati sayadkhuluna jahannama dakhirin. Whoever is actually proud, being proud from asking me, from doing worship towards me, that is asking Allah Ta'ala for everything, sayadkhuluna jahannama dakhirin, will enter the hell as tiny or small people. Means that no pride for him, because sometimes a person doesn't want to ask because of pride. So in doing dua inside salat, whether in the sujud or after the tashahud, that is the two place that the Prophet ﷺ allowed us to say our prayer or say our supplication other than what being recited in the salah. Two place only, inside your sujud or after doing the tashahud, before you give the salam, before you reciting the salam, you can ask from Allah Ta'ala whatever you want. Then you can verbalize it, and actually verbalize. If you can verbalize it in Arabic, you can verbalize in Arabic. If you cannot verbalize in Arabic, you can verbalize it in your own language, because the things that you must understand that when you are doing the supplication, you must know what you recite. If you say in Arabic and you don't understand, sometimes people say Allah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, and the head, the mind is actually wandering around. That is not supposed to be the way of supplication towards Allah. You have to know what you recite. You have to understand what you recite. So that's why when you know, if you know the supplication in Arabic, you can do it in Arabic, and then hearing it to yourself only, not loudly until being heard by others. Like we say to yourself, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. It's like that, just like that. Or you say, Allah maghfirli, Allah maghfirli. Something like that. Because the Prophet ﷺ did verbalize it, and when the companion was sitting beside him, they hear what the Prophet ﷺ supplicate. That's the thing. So you can supplicate, okay? Supplicate the supplication by verbalizing, but not too loud. If you are alone, yes, it's okay. But if you are actually in jama'ah, you don't ever take too long time, take your time too long to recite your supplication until the imam already move away. No, first one. Second one, don't ever do it in the loud manner, that until the others beside you hearing it. Just for yourself, and it doesn't matter in what language, and it doesn't ever will to make your salat not acceptable. No, actually your salat will always be acceptable by Allah Ta'ala in recitation of the dua, whether in the sujud or after the tashahud, before giving salam, in whatever language, but not loudly, but actually just between you and yourself, because Allah Ta'ala doesn't like people that call him by shouting. It's actually been mentioned in Surah Al-A'raf, verse number Surah A'raf, verse number 205. Allah Ta'ala said in that ayat, وَاذْكُرْ رَبَّكَ فِي نَفْسِكَ تَضَرُّعًا وَخِيفَةً دُونَ الْجَهْرِ مِنَ الْقَوْلِ بِالْغُدُوِّ وَالْآصَالِ وَلَا تَكُنْ مِنَ الْغَافِلِينَ. He said here, and remember your Lord within yourself in humility and fear, without being apparent in speech, in the morning and the evening, and do not be among the heedless. Heedless means that people that doesn't have the conscious towards Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So means that the from among the adab of dua, like the Prophet said to the companion, don't be, because the companion Prophet SAW, when they climbing a mountain or a peak of a place, they will shout Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When they come down, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. And the Prophet said to them, Arbi'u ala anfusikum, be merciful towards your own self. Because you are actually not talking or not calling towards the one who actually far, or not hearing, because Allah Ta'ala all hearing and near to you, and he always hear what you say. Don't ever shout. So it's actually not advisable to be like that. Okay, wallahil hamd. Okay, so inshallah we will continue our topic. The 10th rule, we separate in three segment. The last segment, the second segment will be inshallah next week. Wallahu a'lam. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa sallam, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanallah anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Tak boleh kerja ni, sampaikan ramai orang.